As Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu steps off a plane in Budapest, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán delivers a geopolitical bombshell.
A Nemzetközi Büntetőbíróságról kell beszélnem. Magyarország úgy döntött, a magyar kormány úgy döntött, hogy kilépünk onnan.
Hungary is withdrawing from the International Criminal Court. This decision arrives just hours before Netanyahu's visit, despite the ICC issuing an arrest warrant against him for alleged war crimes in Gaza. Let's break down what's happening and why it matters globally. Hungary ratified the Rome Statute in 2001, formally joining the ICC. But despite signing the treaty, Budapest never fully implemented its provisions into national law, citing constitutional incompatibility. In other words, Hungary claimed it was a member in name, but not fully bound in practice. That gray area has now been exploited. Orbán's government says the ICC is politically motivated and infringes on national sovereignty. His chief of staff, Gergely Gulyas, posted publicly, "Hungary exits the International Criminal Court." The timing is no coincidence. Orbán invited Netanyahu to Budapest back in November 2023, one day after the ICC issued its arrest warrant. He promised not to honor the warrant. Now, by officially beginning the withdrawal process, Hungary makes that commitment legally watertight. Under ICC rules, a withdrawal takes effect 1 year after notification is submitted to the UN Secretary-General. So Hungary remains bound, on paper, until April 2026. But in practice, the political message is clear. This is only the third time a nation has withdrawn from the court. Burundi left in 2017. The Philippines followed in 2019, also amid accusations of politically biased prosecutions. Hungary becomes the first European country to exit. Orbán's move mirrors wider global disillusionment with the ICC. The United States never ratified the Rome Statute. Neither did China, Russia, or Israel. India signed, but didn't ratify. Dozens of others, including Turkey and Indonesia, never joined. The ICC's lack of universal membership limits its reach, and its conviction rate, just over 10 verdicts in 2 decades, is strikingly low given its mandate. Since its founding in 2002, the ICC has launched over 30 investigations into crimes like genocide, war crimes, and crimes against humanity. But it lacks enforcement mechanisms. It cannot arrest suspects on its own. That duty falls to member states. If those states refuse, like Hungary now intends to, the system falters. Hungary's stance reinforces a growing axis of skepticism toward international institutions. Orbán has positioned Hungary as a bastion of national sovereignty, opposing what he calls globalist interference. In doing so, he aligns more closely with nations that reject ICC authority, like Russia and Israel. In fact, Orbán has repeatedly defended both. After Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, Hungary refused to break ties with Moscow. Now, with Netanyahu accused of overseeing war crimes during the 2023 Israel-Gaza conflict, Orbán offers him open support. The ICC accuses Netanyahu of authorizing disproportionate military responses and blockading civilian populations. Israel denies the charges. Hungary's message is, those are matters of state sovereignty, not international prosecution. This reflects a broader trend. In 2020, U.S. President Donald Trump imposed sanctions on ICC officials, calling their investigations illegitimate and politically motivated. The court's attempt to investigate U.S. conduct in Afghanistan and Israeli actions in Palestine sparked furious backlash from both governments. Now, Hungary takes it further, by walking out. Critics warn this sets a dangerous precedent. If states can dodge accountability by quitting, the entire architecture of international justice is at risk. Supporters of the ICC argue that its role is more vital than ever. As wars in Gaza, Ukraine, Sudan, and Yemen continue, calls for neutral, supranational justice grow louder. But without enforcement or universal buy-in, the court stands on shaky ground. Hungary's move isn't just a legal step, it's a political act of defiance. It underscores Orban's pivot toward authoritarian solidarity, nationalist governance, and open rejection of global norms. With Netanyahu visiting, the symbolism is impossible to ignore. One leader under arrest warrant, the other rejecting the system that issued it. Hungary's withdrawal will likely embolden others who view the ICC as an obstacle rather than a safeguard. And for the international legal order, this could be a turning point. Is the world entering a new era where power overrides justice? Or will this crisis galvanize reform and renewed commitment to accountability? That answer lies not in The Hague, but in capitals around the world.